Here we have the hourly price chart for AMC Entertainment Holdings Incorporated, stock ticker AMC. So as we can see today, we have broken above the 550 level. I think this is significant for a few different reasons. The upward trajectory here remains positive, and as we can see, there is a prior price pattern that we were pointing to here, which would be considered to be a descending triangle pattern. As we can see, there's a downward sloping trend line and a sort of a flat base to the downside. And this is generally considered to be a bearish pattern, but it's possible for there to be breaks to the top side, which invalidate the pattern. And then if that does occur, the expectation is positive because the break ultimately occurred to the top side. It does sort of favor the downside, but as long as the pattern breaks to the top side, it's no longer a bearish pattern. So as we can see here, we have seen a very convincing break of this descending triangle formation here. There's really no question about that at this point. And here's the breakout activity. So we have near term, we have seen highs as high as 571. This does not quite come into contact yet with the highs that were posted on July 8th, which posted at 573. But we're roughly right there. This is a green candle. This test here at 571, where we were kind of attempting to target these prior highs. We can see that this is a green candle, but there's also a very long wick on the candle. Kind of drill in here and kind of see this more closely, but we can see that there's a long line on the top of the candle. So what that really tells us is that we did see a bit of a price rejection up in this area. And what this does tell me is that the market is still watching these prior highs closely. I don't think that we've just forgotten about these prior highs at 573. I think that there is a little bit of selling pressure in this area. But overall, we can see that the candle is still green, which means that the closing price was higher than the opening price, and this does suggest that this rejection point was not very strong. So when we look at this descending triangle pattern that has broken here, we can see that once again, the market is sort of attempting to sell off the stock. And we're seeing some evidence of that, but these advances are being breached. They're being broken. And the bearish attempt here is not really working out. So you can see further evidence of that here in the indicator reading. If we point down here at the relative strength index, we can see that there was an attempt to kind of establish bearish trend momentum here. This really would have started at those 573 highs. So this is another reason that I kind of point to this level. Because I do think that there is some selling pressure here. I don't think that this level is just being completely ignored. And as we can see, there was a bit of a sell-off here. I mean, if we were to drill down to say the 5-minute chart or something like that, this rejection here would look a little bit more forceful. But the hourly chart is much more commonly watched. And here we can see that the closing price was higher than the opening price. So this did still give us a green candle, even though there was a lot of selling pressure in this area. My main point here is that there have been several attempts to kind of generate pressure to the downside, selling pressure. This very likely could be short sellers entering into the market here to try to force prices back down. And it wouldn't surprise me if they're kind of focusing on this $5 level. I think that if you are able to, if you're a short seller and you're able to kind of force prices down below $5 per share, I think the idea there is that you're able to kind of stoke some fear in the market, maybe get some buyers to exit their positions and things like that. So this is the reason that I don't think that the sellers are really abandoning kind of this $5 handle here. Even though we are continuing to see evidence of continued upside buying pressure. Rather than selling pressure. So what I'm saying, as we continue with this upward price movement, these sellers are having to continue to take steps back and kind of reposition themselves at higher levels. So it's important because it really shows you kind of who is winning the battle here. Is it the buyers or is it the sellers? And as things currently stand here, we continue to make a series of higher highs and higher lows. This does suggest that an uptrend is in place. And it does suggest that this prior downtrend, is ready to retrace itself, and the stock is ready to recover all of these losses. So, if you're on the short side of the market, this is a bit concerning. I mean, this is not something that you want to see. So, the second major point that I want to kind of point to here is the fact that we can get rid of this downtrend because it's no longer valid. The other major point that I want to make here is the fact that upward momentum here has been able to maintain itself even during periods of broad sell-off in the market as a whole. If you go back to last Thursday, you can see major selling pressure developing in the S&P 500, the Nasdaq. Most of the Mag 7 stocks were trading under severe selling pressure. Some of those stocks have not recovered. I suggest people take a look at the videos that I just posted on Meta Platforms, the Facebook parent company, and also NVIDIA, the GPU manufacturer. I suggest people take a look at those videos because if you look at those price charts, you'll see that trend movement in those stocks is heavily focused in the downward direction, and some major support zones are being broken in the process. This is a large amount of money. These are mega cap stocks, the Mag 7 stocks, the biggest companies in the world. And we're seeing major selling pressure in those stocks today. But what are we seeing here today with AMC? We're seeing a consistent, steady march forward here toward new highs. We're not quite there yet. I do think that there is some defense here at this 573 level because we weren't even able to reach this point before we started to see some declines. But those declines were relatively limited. I mean, where's the ultimate low here? We can see that for today's trading session, Wednesday 17th, we can see that the ultimate price low here comes in at 536. This is not a massive difference here from 571. We're not even talking about a full 50-cent loss here. So, and we're already starting to recover. We're already trading back above 550. So, we can even see a bit of a mini trend here that's developing to the top side. Prices are kind of continuing to move forward here. In spite of the fact that there are major sell-offs in some of these other stocks. I really do encourage people to look at those videos because you'll be surprised by what you see. Meta Platforms in particular is really falling off of a cliff. Similar things are happening with NVIDIA. So these are stocks that are supposed to be safe and reliable. Not you're not supposed to be exposed to these types of price moves when you're trading with these stocks. But that is what is happening here. Where is the stable stock here? We can see that AMC is much more stable. Even though it's a meme stock. I mean, it doesn't really make a lot of sense on the face of it, but this is what is occurring. So you can't really deny the facts here. AMC is marching forward, and it does look like we're going to see at least a retest of this 573 high very soon. The way things are looking here, I am expecting to see an upside break, and this is being confirmed in the momentum indicator in the relative strength index on the hourly chart. So here's the current market analysis for AMC Entertainment Holdings, stock ticker AMC.